It's rough. All right, YouTube, what up, Sneezy? Season 7 coaching. Got Kled versus Nasus. What is this? Love the Ignite take. Definitely definitely get some autos in. Auto, like here, definitely auto. It's very important, guys. Top lane, top lane is one of those lanes where the autos add up so fast, and they completely. I mean, it's every lane. If we don't auto up close in these trades, like, we're missing so much value. We have to do that. Can't miss it. My team. What happened to Lee? Lee, dude. What have you done? Tryndamere rolls up. Shitty gank. It's not really going to do anything. That trade is absolutely outlandish. You should not be trading in that many minions ever. You should be thinning out the wave. That's a no. You should be thinning out the wave, then maybe looking to trade if you want. But that's outrageous that you go for that. Wow, you shit on him. That is Kled, dude. Kled does work. Yeah, that's a pretty wild 1v1. It seems like you know your kill potential, or maybe you're a psycho. I have no idea, but I'll take it. My only complaint so far was that trade in the minions and the lack of autos in the early game. But this start is fine, that you're able to kill him there. That's fucking nuts to me. What we need to be doing is we need to be shoving top. Okay, so you push as far as you can and back. I'm on board. It obviously sucks that we can't push farther, but what can you do? So now this guy is dead. This is great. You come back in with fucking Tiamat. You're aggressing the shit out of him. Let's talk about how we can snowball the game. Oh, he does get away from that. Okay. This is all good with me. I assume you're playing back because you're scared of Tryndamere gank. But you have ult, so I wouldn't be too scared. Hey, I have a question for you because I don't play Kled. Can you ult without Kled, like without having Kled? And does he just come back to you? Because if so, that's a good re-engage spot. If not, ignore me. I literally don't know. No ult if dismounted. Thank you. Yeah, that was random that they all should up top. I like your assertiveness here. I don't like this because, and hear me out, I don't like this because it's like you're not anticipating his ult, okay? And I'm gonna get a little bit more advanced on you because I like the pressure you're putting on the lane. I like the CS lead. I like that you're actively looking for the kill. This is all good, except you ignite him, and I don't like that. I want you getting his ult down first, and then pushing the lane, then looking to dive him. Okay? Where this is like you ulting or you igniting and then him ulting and walking away does us no good. The ignite needs to come when the kill's coming. So you should know he's going to ult. We assume that Nasus is not a total retard. Okay? We have to. Because that's going to allow us to just burn his ult. We want to get the big cooldowns. Then, after the ult comes out, we quickly spin to the minions, shove the wave in, and then as the wave hits tower, then you can look to dive. Okay? But we have to, we don't need to ignite him. We know what he's going to do, and the ult's not going to, or him ulting isn't going to, he's not going to die to the ignite. There is another point where you could just give it up. Again, spin, shove the lane, dive him if you want, or shove the lane, he teleports, you can go and farm golems, you can fuck around in the enemy's jungle, you can maybe cut the wave if you think you can get away with it, depending on where Trendemir's at. This would be the spot where I'd be feeling pretty good with the remounts and the ult and their flash and everything up. I would want to start drawing pressure and then using my ult to probably, potentially, here's the thing. Let's say that we get back here. Let's just warp ahead and say that we get back here and we're able to do this, right? We have our ignite, we have our flash, we have our ult. And we're able to come back here and clear this wave. Instant, right? Gone. This leaves a window where we can come through jungle and look for our ult roam, which is nasty right here. Guaranteed to get every summoner that this guy has every time, and potentially the kill. But when if you're gonna put your ignite on this guy, it needs to be a kill, or otherwise you're fine. If you're burning his ult and no jungler's coming to help you, he's stuck on tower, he can't rotate, he can't do shit now, and now you could use that to extend the lead elsewhere. Oh, wow. So, pay attention to this moment. This is what happens when you're wrong on a dive, okay? Think about how much lane control we had back when we had the guy here who was gonna R 100%, right? Think about this. And you got his flash here, right? Think about this. You had so much lane control. In diving and being wrong in the top lane, think about how much that hurts us. We now gimp our entire health bar. We had to use our ult to run away. We had to use our flash, and then we die, and the wave pushes to us. Just like that. That's why I always hammer home on, if we don't have a clear dive, just bait the cooldowns and then move on to cut the wave. And then fuck with the jungler, go in the red buff, do all that shit, because now top lane has absolutely no pressure. But if you dive and you're wrong, this is how it starts, right? This is how we lose our entire lane control. We should be dumpstering. I mean, you are dumpstering it, but you just make a bad call. In the future, use that lead to step in there. And to go and cut the wave and fuck with the jungler and all that shit. Or dive if the jungler shows up. But you can't be wrong versus Nasus. So you run to mid. ult mid for an engage. I actually didn't mind it, because it does get to a point where Nasus is going to push no matter what we do. I love how you guys are grouping for objectives. This is dope. Now we'd start going bottom permanently. Let him go. You're just... Yeah, this is waste. You have to know you're very rarely getting this guy, right? Like, you have to know. This is cool, I guess. But you push Tryndamere out of lane, run all the way to top, dance around top, and then fight. It's KDA. It's like textbook like KDA farming stuff. When in reality, you've already pushed Tryndamere out. He's going to be scared that you're chasing him. You can push to tier 2, and then you could go to dragon. This is a, what, a fucking 50-minute goof fest? This game was pretty much over at 12 if we had played the advantage that we gained top right? Like you see what I was talking about earlier. And then you guys got tier 2s. You need to work to get the tier 2 bottom. This is the comp. Like, you're facing a comp that you can't afford to allow to play to late game, because there's a lot of split push threats and there's a lot of like solo queue team fight power. And what I mean is, they have Xerath, they have Jinx, they have Nasus, they have Karma. These are all champions that do really, really well together late game. Tryndamere is going to always be a nuisance too. I have one of those moments in this game and 2 very bad ultimates late game. It's okay. Oh, fuck. That was the dive. Let's skip ahead a little bit further. Sorry, I accidentally went backwards. Here we go. It's one of those plays where it's like, yeah, it's cool that you kill 2 people, but I mean, it just looked out of control. It didn't look like you knew what you were doing. See how you keep chasing him? Fuck him, dude. This is what I wanted to see. Also, you guys have 3 Earths, dude. You guys have 3 Earths. You should be winning, like, every objective. Okay, you know he doesn't have ult. You take blue. I love this. This looks good to me. Taking all the camps, that's great. Good engage. Yeah, that Xerath's going hard in the paint. This is what I'm talking about. He's just one of those champs. Does well in solo queue. Xerath's my target. I am chasing Xerath here. That's good that you did. Okay, you have some decisions you can make. You go straight for Nasus. I'm thinking you should be shoving mid. Why do I think that? Because your Leona and Veigar are going to spawn. Nasus isn't going to do anything on his own. It looks like you're KDA in here. Yeah, I would rather you just shove mid in there. I hope that makes sense. I'm saying that you running to top instead of pushing out mid, like Nasus is unable to do anything top. Your team's going to show up, and then you could probably swing over and kill him if you absolutely need to. But there's no point in hold. I mean, he's going to push regardless. The greatest Lee of our time. Nasus has 0. Yeah, this game's already gone. Wait, how many dragons do you guys have? Okay, this thing's lying. It said that you had 3 air dragons. Now it says you have 2. I'm sorry, you had 3 earth dragons. Now you have 2 earth dragons and a water dragon. But then this thing's saying that you only have 1 mountain dragon and 1 water dragon. So I don't fucking know. No, Lee Sin got executed at the start of the game. Okay, so if you weren't pinging for that Baron after you made the pick on... Three Earths. If you weren't screaming for Baron after you make this pick... You done goofed. Next time just ping for the Baron. Because you guys had all full HP until you chased. Xerath, the final boss fight, dude. Now they're gonna get Baron. They're not gonna get it. Okay, now you're pinging it. Good job. Excellent. Pick happens. You engage. Clear the wave. You do. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. This is all good with me. This is all good with me. I don't like this. This is risky. Yeah, you guys are overstaying. So right there, notice when I said I don't like this. The quote to rule them all. Here's the issue. Is you guys can't float at base. This late in the game, look, it doesn't matter what the gold disparity is, honestly. It really doesn't make a difference. But I'm looking at, you guys are just outrageously ahead of these guys. I see, hold on, let me organize. Looks like Veigar is the only one who's behind. Lee's up 4K. Caitlyn's up 4K. Leona's up. Oh, Leona's down a wee bit, and you're up about 2K. So it doesn't matter how far you're ahead in gold at this stage. When you die this late in the game, 30 minutes plus, and you're dying for, you know, you're basically staying with your teammates and getting caught. You are just, you're letting the game be a coin flip. Remember what I was talking about with the Annie guy, right? It wasn't so cut and dry here because you had Baron minions, but you should be the guy who's constantly, in late game scenarios, constantly tell yourself, DeVries takes it 3 months in a row, constantly ask yourself, like, how can we throw right now? And not like, you know, how can we die? But like, what happens if I die? Like, ask yourself that. And constantly remind yourself, like, if I die here, I'm going to be on like a 50, 60 second, even more respawn timer. And there's an Elder Dragon that's going to be up in 30 seconds. You guys could have very easily just opened the inhib and then backed away, pinged back, and then started setting up vision for Elder Drag, right? And spam pinging it and moving to it. You don't even have to say anything in chat. You could have backed, start spam pinging Elder and start putting up wards there, control ward or two, and then bam. You have control of the next objective. You basically deny that throw, and you're good to go. But when you get caught here and trade, and it's not even really you live. But when you don't ping your teams back, and you're not setting up for that Elder, pretty messy. Because now they can fight for the Elder, and they're going to, and I don't know where the fuck you're going. Yeah, you should be going to Elder. Or I guess you're just giving Elder? Makes sense. Okay. And I'm not being sarcastic. It does kind of make sense. You assume they're probably going to get it. And now you just kind of engage into Elder, and Leona follows in suicides because of it. You should have been waiting out Elder. Your late game seems a lot weaker than your lane game. For sure. Are you going to get a new PO box? Yes, I need to. Sorry. This game is a fucking mess. I followed Leona there. Yeah, don't do that. Nope, you're the carry. That Leona's horrible. Good ignite. Now you're applying pressure to the tower. I like that. Just don't die. Don't die. You needed to be going out, not in. But again, you can't get caught late game. That death timer's too long, dude. And here's the other thing. Again, when you die, look at your timer. Look at how much map control you lose. It's not worth it. I say this all the time on stream with people trading towers for their Fed carries trading towers for kills. Like, what I mean is, like, you trade inhib tower and you die as a result. It's like very, very rarely gonna be worth it, in my experience. I play a lot of split pushers, obviously, you know that. It's very, very rarely going to be worth doing unless you're like getting an objective at the same time. It's not worth it because you're just gonna you are the carry. You die, your team sucks, right? Look at your team. Look at your team. 12 deaths, 10 deaths, 13 deaths, 12 deaths. These guys are walking death machines. They just die. They die every chance they get. If they can die, they're going to die. It's like it's like the fucking, it's just laws of physics, dude. What can feed will feed, dude. That's what it is. Quote it. Put it in the books, dude. Put it in the scripture. So, if you can avoid dying, you need to not do it. Feeder's law, dude. Got GA, so you can noob out. They get Baron. That's pretty much game. They get Baron. What can feed, will feed, dude. Thank you. Less risk late game. The Baron pretty much kills our hope of survival, though, I gotta say. Nasus on Nasus with Baron buff. Your team being newbies. Tryndamere's caught back up. He's got gold now. Lee can't fight Tryndamere. That ain't gonna happen ever. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah. Alright. Let's go over this game. The final Baron is like the nail in the coffin for us. There's like no way we're breaking down this team comp. Fed Xerath, fed fucking Nasus. Not even fed, just farmed. Jinx, Tryndamere, Karma, like you name it, they have it all to sustain and poke you guys. And you have a Lee, which sucks late. You have a Leona who pretty much always sucks in every solo queue game I play. I don't know what it is. The lane, it started. Control of the game slipped through your fingers up here. When you got Nasus's ult, you got his flash, and you dove him, and you were wrong. This situation that you created, and what I mean wrong is like you took your whole HP's worth of damage and barely lived, but then died, and then Nasus pushed, and then that gave away, in my opinion, lane control. That was the big oof, where we could have probably just ran this game over real quick and smoothly. So I'm going to hammer home. You cannot be wrong on dives in the top lane. You cannot. It's so much better to just accept that you got the guy's cooldowns and then go to proxy the wave and fuck with the jungler. It is so much better to do that than to waste ignite, dive and be wrong, not kill him, and get killed. It's so... Like, I want you taking the risk. I want you going for the dive when it makes sense, but only when it's 100% safe and you know you're going to get it. Otherwise, just accept the lead. The next thing, after that happened, you still wind up getting tier 2. You still wind up with a lead. You should have, when your team was grouping, you should have immediately started pressuring bot. Big lead again. But again, well... You allowed the Tryndamere to pull you around the map. You weren't being the guy that was pushing. Thanks, Einlol Mauer. Fucking name. 3 months in a row. I give up, dude. I can't say it. Big E, dude. Remember, Big E. That's what we're calling you. It's fucking easier that way. A lot of this game, from mid to late game, was you reacting to pressure as opposed to creating pressure on your own. And what I mean is, you didn't immediately go, I need to push for tier 2. They can suck my dick. You instead went, Nasus is pushing, I need to respond to him. Tryndamere is pushing, I'm going to chase that kill. That's what kept happening mid to late game. And I believe there was another point where like you could have even, like there was a point where your teammates could have stopped the push in top lane, but you went after that push that was never going to go anywhere anyways. There was no towers to take, and you chased the kill. As for like your team fighting and everything, like your sense of trying to engage, trying to force favorable fights, that's all well and good to me. But I think in the mid game you had a massive lead. You could have pushed and pulled people to you and kept pressuring towers and forcing Nasus to back, but you allowed 2 players who were super behind to draw you around the map. Which I don't really get, because even if Nasus had pushed into inhib, let's just say, you could very easily just back and ult to him and kill him and then resume pushing. But you don't use, it was like you were afraid to use space and trade. You had the initiative, you could take jungle camps, you could kill anybody that fought you, you could take towers. Nasus really couldn't, and you allowed someone to basically bluff that he could. And that's where the game started to drag out. We got into ultra late. You know, you guys had objectives, but you never were able to break the towers. And then when you did break them, you traded for them. Can you go back to top? That top push. And tell me what to look at. This was the big one. This was the play to end all plays. Right here. That was the biggest error, right? This is where I wanted you to cut the wave. The last top inhib turret. Do you mean when you... Here? Just leave right here. This is where you would leave. This is it. It's literally this simple. You just leave here. When he basically when you see him in vision, you just leave. Why? Because he's going to be stuck here dealing with this. You can back, reset, group with your team, whatever you got to do, but you can't die. You die here, spawn timer's too long, gives the map control away, and then they get Baron. Just leave. It's not, and yes, you can get it. Yes, you can break it. But like, you need to understand that it does not do you any good to break it and die, because they definitely will take Baron off of it with their composition. And you're the carry. Okay? So that's why, as soon as you see his head pop in, because you're right, you know, I can see fucking Nasus chasing Lee. I know where Xerath was, right? I know that they can't get me, but as soon as Tryndamere shows up, you know, he's caught back up, he's farmed back in. We don't need to risk this. We can just take the pressure and then leave and then set up for Baron. Back and then set up for Baron. But when you die, you open up Baron control. Okay? And it's very important late game, when you're fed, you don't die. You just don't. You can push at the objective, you can threaten that you're going to push, but you cannot die. Because that's how you lose with when a team gets a hold of Baron and just walks into your team. Just never die and you win, yeah. Alright, I hope this helps you. YouTube, thank you so much for watching the Kled replay. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, all the bullshit. It's Nisi, I love you, and I'm out. Peace, cracks. Thank you so much.